Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Hello, I'm here with Hamilton. Hamilton, come in. Make yourself comfortable in the command pod.
Oh, thank you.
Pick a spot anywhere. Not there.
Why not?
But,
I look really comfy, that.
Well, that's fur that we've had recently shaved off. Anyway, let's not get into that.
Is that where the smell's coming from?
The smell of lions. That is where the smell is coming from. Yeah, that's Dan.
Okay.
Right. Well, Hamilton's a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
I think you are the person who has visited the most often in all of our time.
Really?
Well, I was doing a quick check back. Yeah. I think you were on about 4 years ago, maybe
Jesus.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, talking about, I think the first time you came on, you were talking about your game show, Dragon's Duel.
Yes, I was.
Which you rather kindly invited me to help you with.
Yeah.
At Dragon Meet, and that was fun.
That was fun.
And then it was fun. And then the last time you were talking about the thing you're going to talk about now, but you were talking about it in a different way, which is Mork Borg.
That's right, yes.
You were doing a show, you were promoting,
yes,
or whatever. Introducing us to, is it something macabre? Theatre Macabre?
Yeah. So, I did a short series playing one of the intro adventures that was for Mork Borg with some fab people. Yeah, that was it. And we were trying to promote it around and get people to watch it. And
you were talking about something. You talked about something. It was a very strange conversation, Hamilton. It was about Bowie.
Oh, David Bowie's a Spelljammer.
David Bowie.
Both of those you can watch now. You can find Theatre Macabre.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, Bowie's you can get to the halfway point, and then there's the second half of the season, which I just need to finish editing.
Editing. The bane of our lives.
Well, it's because I had someone that was helping me edit, and then they disappeared. And then I was like, now I've got to do it all. And I tried my best and then ran out of time.
Run out of spoons.
Literally, yeah. I
couldn't edit video. I just couldn't. I'd spend half my life editing this bloody thing. Hello, readers. I enjoy it, readers. Don't worry. Well, so Mork Borg. Yeah. Last time you came on, and nobody will have remembered this apart from me, you gave us a bit of a chat about Mork Borg.
Yeah.
Just briefly, talk to me about Mork Borg again.
Mork Borg it's very rules light. It's sort of based off the OSR tradition of TTRPGs, which is old school role playing. So it just goes back, harkens back to the old days where it's more about role playing ORLE instead of role playing ROLL. So the idea is if you go into a dungeon and you're looking for traps, you don't go, I roll a dice and it tells me I can see all the traps in the world.
Right. Yes.
And this is more about that sort of thing. You've got 4 stats. It's a D20 system. You can either have -3 to +3 in each of your 4 stats. There's no skills apart from the one that you can get for the class you choose. And if you survive long enough than the single-digit hit points you have, you might be able to get another skill or ability. And the GM barely rolls. It's all player-based rolls. So you roll to defend and you roll to attack. And if someone does magic at you, you roll to see if you survive it, not if they hit you. So it's all it's one roll.
Gotcha. So it's short lifespan of characters.
Yes.
Is that basic idea?
Yeah.
We played some Mothership recently, and that is another game where you're just... I think there's actually a leaderboard for Mothership, as in who's lived the longest. How long have you managed to stay on?
3 sessions.
Whatever it might be. I think so, yeah. I think it's odd that there's a kind of renaissance in those. We're old people, as you know, Hamilton. When we started playing, that was basically it.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't called I'm going to... dangerous sounding like
it's just called role-playing back then.
Yeah, there was no OSR. It was just what it was. Yeah. And it was very much fill in the blanks because there weren't many rules. Yeah. And lethality was a key component of the game. It's just a question of how long you could cling on and have you got enough torches, And it's quite interesting that role-playing's kind of gone in a different way. During the flourish, we could call it, since 5e and whatever, and the huge numbers that have come in. And it's become a lot more story-based and a lot less gritty.
Crunchy.
And now there's a gritty movement.
Yeah, and I think that... And there's a big thing going around saying Mork Borg is the independent 5e, fight me sort of thing. As in, prove me wrong. That sort of meme. Yeah. And it's very true because there's so much stuff happening with it. But it is because it is a really simple... It's because it's such a really simple system. And I think metalheads and sort of gritty people overlap with the realms of role-playing a lot more than... it's a bigger genre now than it's ever been. So I don't think that's as true as it used to be. But I think there's definitely a big Venn diagram overlap in those realities.
I think part of it as well is that people like new shiny things.
Yeah.
And so grumpy old people who hark back to days of yore can buy something new but play something old
Exactly.
in terms of its spirit.
Yeah.
And I think there's an awful lot of OSR kind of momentum around that. Don't Dungeon Crawl Classics have a role-playing set? They do.
They do, yeah, exactly. That's a massive thing. That's a big part of the OSR community, I guess.
My question about Mort Borg, though, because we're here to talk about your Kickstarter that you're going to launch shortly. How does this work? You're writing content for Mort Borg. How does licensing can you just jump in and write whatever you like? How does it work?
Literally, their licenses, so long as you're not a dickhead, as their words are, I think, then you're allowed to do whatever you want. So long as you just say, you can't write verbatim anything from the main book, but you can get the whole original book without any of the funky art, and they've still got some black and white art in there for free, just by going to the website. So that's all sorted.
Right, so it's very like the kind of old Wild West days of the old OGL back in whenever that was.
Exactly, and because of that, that's why I think 90s. The community's so... Yeah, and the OGL is actually back to being even more... After their weird...
Well, that was very odd.
We're going to charge everyone. D&D is actually probably slightly more open in some ways. I don't know. Probably about the same now.
Oh, wow.
But because of it, there's so much stuff being made for it because it's so easy. Yeah. It's so open. There's no troubles with it. And like the people who... I ran a Kickstarter last year for it, and there's a really great community of people. Like the Discord's a great place to go, and everyone's really nice and helpful and suggesting things. But also like people turn up and be like, this is freaking awesome, and we'll promote your stuff for you and all that stuff. And on top of it, it's kind of a really great place to be. On top of all the easiness, it's also just like a really good community, which is kind of really nice.
Was it Demon Slayer, the Kickstarter you did before?
Demon Slayer.
Because I've got a copy of it in my hand right now.
Yeah.
It's very good production values.
Thank you.
And you're doing a new one. You're doing another one.
Yeah.
So tell me about the new one.
The new one is called Wraithborn. Sorry, you have to say it like that. You can't say it any other way. You can't be like, it's Wraithborn.
Wraithborn.
Yeah, Wraithborn.
Now.
You've got a better voice for it, actually. And
Wraithborn.
There you go.
Oh dear, that's doing my throat
in a world.
That's the Hooves voice.
Wraithborn.
You've got it down.
Anyway, keep going. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Wraithborn is like, the inspiration for it came from everything in the world being a little bit crap right now, particularly in the UK. So there's a lot of like references to the UK, but also like my love of what I like about the UK is just the nature and the hills and the land itself. Not like, I have no affiliation to nation or country. I think the land.
A tree hugger.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that the best thing about this place is all the countryside and all the amazing like landscapes, and everyone should come here and enjoy it as much as they should, free and without any barriers. But there you go,
untrammeled.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the point of it. But then it's also just like how crap a lot of stuff is going on. So I've sort of done a piece about the places I've lived, so also a bit about France as well, and England and Scotland I've lived in, and a bit in Wales. So like I've sort of kind of done all of the UK and a bit of France, and sort of made this sort of Tortured Isles landscape set in a sort of shadow realm called Segale, which is like the shadowy, like echoey mirror of our own reality. And so you've got these 5 nations that are all situated on different islands, and they all have their own different story to tell and different relationship to like the past and the place of where I've grown up. So you've got like an area in the north called Tyr, which is being overrun by these vampiric beasts from the frozen wastes of the north. So you can sort of like basically Viking vampires have come and invaded this sort of area. And there's an interesting relationship between the sort of human population, the sort of Damphyr vampire people that rule them, and then the vampiric beasts at the top. And they like have this cold war with the neighbouring Rhyd, which is Welsh for free, which are these sort of free people who are all druids, but also pagans, and they worship dragons. And so they've kept at bay this northern vampiric Viking force trying to come south. And then you've got like a city-state of Nieve, which is like a French-inspired place. Very Louis XIV and rebellion and all that stuff's happened, but this Louis XIV character basically brought demons in to help control the population, but then the demons turned with the people and had an uprising. So the world is now run by demons, but they're kind of nice. So but your mileage may vary on what you feel about it, but it's an interesting sort of dynamic going on there. And then you've got like Yodam, spelt Y-E-O or I-O, depending on if you're Yodam. And they've got like, it's like a mega city that spans a whole island, and basically there's like an upper crust of it's all capitalism basically. It's industrial revolution on steroids. You got a Romanesque upper class, so I've done this sort of architecture of Romanesque, and then it builds on top of this Elizabethan base, and they're sort of necromancers, and if you die on the workforce you just get reanimated, and it's a pretty awful place, and so there's a beginning of a resistance happening there.
So this is
so dark.
Well, it's dark. This is a campaign setting, half campaign setting, half you working out your inner torments.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's a nuclear wasteland as well with ironclad warriors. Yeah,
I mean,
searching
lovely.
for heaven.
Okay. And so this is a setting in which I can run my Morkborg adventures.
Exactly it. Yeah, so it's a setting for Morkborg, and I've kind of got a stretch goal that I'll make it for OSR, which means you have, instead of the 4 stats, you can also have the 6 stats of like classic D&D. Yep. And so, it'll be like an in-depth analysis of all those places I talked about. There's a couple of little extra bits I'm adding to each of the classes I'm making for it. So instead of it just being the basic Morkborg where you get one skill to choose from, I'm sort of making a specific either magic system or ritual system or sort of leveling up system that's not too detailed, as in like it's a page of A5 additional stuff, but at least something more unique to each of them. And then you'll get a mini campaign with it. So there's like a little story which will have, let's say, 5 sessions of game to play through, maybe a bit more, where you're going to interact with this Cold War, and then there's going to be just a single one-off adventure, one-shot sort of, maybe 1 or 2 shot, as you know, every one shot always takes more than one session, but that sort of thing.
No such thing as a one-shot,
Exactly. Yeah. And loads of new monsters, loads of vampiric beasts and dragon riders and draconic things, and because like the Morkborg base game comes with, I think off the top of my head, like 15 monsters, maybe a bit more.
Right.
And so
that's not very many monsters.
It's not really, no. But it's so easy to make them if you use the base stat. It's just fleshing out a lot of those sorts of things. I've already done a load of vampires in my last one, so a couple of those will turn up again, but just going to go full hog on all vampiric stuff and all dragon stuff. And
it sounds quite chunky. I mean, how...
Looking at about 240 pages.
Oh my... Sorry, I've completely got the wrong... Right, 240 pages.
Yeah.
Okay. Softbound, hardbound, how's it going to be?
I'm doing the costs as we speak, and I think if it hits a certain threshold, I'm looking at it and I'd like to make it hardback is kind of the thing, and the numbers look like they work out.
Oh, so this is a proper... I mean, I know this is going to come out the wrong way, but this is a proper thing.
Yeah.
240 pages, full campaign setting.
Yeah.
Wow. And when's this happening?
So,
I mean, you're writing it now, but...
Yeah, so whenever you listen to this before the launch date, which will be the 17th of February, there is a pre-launch page that you can go to, and I'm sure I'll give links to...
We'll put links in the show notes.
Yeah, in the show notes. Yeah. And that will link you, and you can say, I want to know when this goes live.
Readers, I think, if I've done my calculations correct, today is the 6th of February, if you're listening to this on the day of release. So you've got plenty of time to sign up, get alerts when the main thing goes live.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Yeah,
thanks. I haven't really got anything else to talk to you about that. It's just always interesting to chat away about projects and stuff. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
And just to hear what's going on out there. By the way, on D&D, I mean old D&D, new D&D. Do you play new D&D, or do you still playing old new D&D when you do play D&D?
Well, I've started looking at it for my podcast, the DM's Book Club. I do with Fiona, and we've been looking through all the new stuff. But how much do I play it? Not a lot. I'm not keen on. Now I've done all this easy stuff. I did Woofrup recently, and I nearly broke my brain. So I'm just enjoying being in a simple land.
Woofrup, I presume, is what I would call Warhammer Fantasy role playing.
Yes, sorry, yes.
Yeah. Woofrup.
It was called that in the 80s, I think. Like they actually...
In the 80s, early 90s, we lost 2 or 3 years of our lives to what I'm now going to call Woofrup.
Yeah.
We were absolutely obsessed with it.
It's so good. It is a good game, but it is... We're talking about crunch. Like, that is another level of crunch.
It's very crunchy.
Yeah.
Well, Pathfinder is what we keep casting little glances at. Also,
why would you do that
extremely crunchy. But we've been playing it because we've been playing it recently, and it is more like the D&D that we used to, not the old school, but kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Quite rules heavy, but just a bit more lethal.
Yeah.
If you're going to play a game which is basically about exploring ancient underground labyrinths and that kind of thing, if that's the tone, then a game that is built around that specifically, it seems to suit our kind of... Yeah. But we play all sorts recently. We've been playing loads. And we've been playing a bit of Cthulhu recently, and we've played Mothership, Alien, and we played the Blade Runner.
That's really good. I like that. I've played that.
Yeah,
that's really
enjoyed it. Played that twice, and last two grand gatherings where we all go away and get away from D&D. Well, we do actually play.
Did you run
D&D,
it?
But
I
ran it, yeah.
Did you make your own story up, or did you use one of the pre-gen?
No, I used the two. I used the two box set things. They're quite difficult to get your head around.
Yeah.
But as always, I go to my first refuge, which is actual play podcasts. You dig out an actual play.
Yeah.
And then as a GM, you really can get your head around how the whole story fits together and which bits stick out and work and which bits perhaps get a bit flat. I did the same with the Alien Adventures as well.
Yeah. Because I made my own one, but what I found interesting about making my own story for it was because I did a recording for an actual play, and again, same reason, don't have it edited yet, but it was like 2 years ago. But but in it, like, I found the system so it made me make a detective story really easily. It's like the best if you want to make a detective storyline. Using that rule set just helps build it so naturally. I couldn't really describe how. It was sort of magic.
It's a weird kind of tweak of the Year Zero, isn't it? The combat system is absolutely brutal, which encourages a kind of different type of role playing. Everything's a lot bleaker. And
because we had a
Shadowrun, put it that way.
Spoiler alert, had a big shootout at the end, and it was pretty deadly, but fair. And it came down to the wire and some lucky rolls and some good game playing, and I was like, it actually works. It still works. It's just like I was a bit concerned because we hadn't really got into full-on combat until like the last episode, and I was like, is this going to be a mess? And actually, I'd say it really works. Yeah, I still think it worked, and it does exactly what you said. It feels like you shouldn't be doing this. Like the Lord of the Rings, I don't know if you played the One Ring as well.
No, I haven't. No.
Another sort of Year Zero hack. Freely. That combat is a mess. And it's and like you don't want to do it just for not only like you probably die, but you'll probably die inside as well. Do you know what I mean? Because just like, what the heck is all this crap?
That worked. Alien works as well. That combat system works. I'll tell you what doesn't work quite so well that we've kept tweaking is Coriolis, which is the original Free League game, which is their giant sweeping space opera kind of slightly Middle Eastern inflected universe kind of thing. Yeah, with Jinn and all of this. Yeah. It's great, but the feel is space opera, but the combat system is you're dead within 5 seconds. And we tweaked it so you want to have a good old shootout at the docking bay as you're trying to flee on your spaceship, right? That kind of scene. If you want that kind of thing, you need a combat system that just allows for a little bit more running about and is a little bit more forgiving. Oh, we seem to have got just massively distracted. Let's go back to what we were here to talk about. So, Wraithborn, how do people find you on social and stuff if they want to find links, if they're not finding the link in our show notes?
If you search @fueled chaos or @fueled_chaos, if you just type one or the other into either of your social media of choice, be that Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky. I'm on X, but I won't check it because I hate that place. Yeah. But if you need to get to me, I will check it maybe once a month, just to be like, no one's like in immediate danger.
We don't really use Twix anymore. Well, I post episode updates because I've just got a habit of doing that. But otherwise,
that's it.
Blue Sky, really.
Yeah, exactly. Same. So if you can find me as Fueled by Chaos because Fueled Chaos, all one word or underscore. Great. That's what I am.
And the Kickstarter you think is going to launch properly on the 17th of Feb. Yep. Readers, I beseech you, the link is in the show notes. Jump on the pre-launch page and you can get updates. And if you like the sound of Mortborg, what a great way to introduce it. It's even got a one-shot that isn't really a one-shot. Great. Well, Hamilton, thanks for coming in. Thank
you for having me.
Readers, as always, ratings and reviews are always welcome. Throw us some stars. Tell your friends. Maybe we can get our readership up to double figures during 2025. You can find us, as always, on our socials at Billowing Hilltop, on Blue Sky, on Threads, on Instagram. If you're old, you can find us on Facebook. If you're older, you can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com. That's it. Let us push on with episode 232 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Day of the Locusts.
What is your new painting method?
Oh, there's something that they call
dry brushing.
No, it's a different
undercoating,
different way of undercoating. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you undercoat in black, then you apply 2 dry brushes in grey and white, and then you apply the contrast paint, like a thinned paint, over the top.
Oh, so the colour is basically a wash on top of the profile which is
set out through the various dry brushes that you've done.
Got
That's
it.
good.
Yes, I understand. So
nice.
Slap chop.
you set
Yeah,
all
I
the
call
light
it.
and shade and saturation
in the
with the undercoat and the dry
Yeah.
brushing.
Yeah.
And then you put a transparent blue, for example, over, and then the points where it's really popping with the dry brushing, you get a very
blue, and it fades down to.
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
I
am tempted to get back into painting every now and again. I just think,
I tried it once.
I ain't got the eyesight.
describing that the other day, and I thought, I bet Graham's going to do that.
I bought a pack of 6 paints and a couple of figures. The results were appalling. I was just rubbish, couldn't do it. But now I'm not doing that again. So,
yeah.
Can't
see.
think the eyesight's good enough.
no, that's
I've got
true.
a big
Yeah.
mirror.
Yeah.
And my hands shake.
Right, okay, great.
We'll
Right.
just pay Graham to do our painting.
What is tonight's beer, Dan?
Camden Hells.
I'm having neck oil.
But I did have...
Oh, Hell's.
Camden
Decent
Hells.
lager.
Yeah, I did have...
Schooner beer, though.
Beavertown
It's Schooner
Satellite
beer.
earlier.
Well, there we are, just to balance it out.
Just to balance it out, to have a bit of Spurs there.
Bit of Tottenham, and then you can drink a little bit of Gooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Building up to Wednesday.
To the loss on Wednesday.
I
Yes.
don't know that
Actually,
anyone's
that's a
going
point.
into that game particularly
I
confident.
think we have to do a bit of
Yeah.
crowing while we still can, Mike.
We got,
Graham, who have you got in the 4th round of the FA Cup?
oh, yeah. Yeah. I did watch the entirety of our absolutely hilariously poor, shambolic disaster.
Somehow managed to squeak through against non-league Tamworth.
They interviewed one of them afterwards, and it's like, it really looked like extra time, took it out of you, and he's like, yeah, and I've got work in the morning. Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
I'm here with the usual crowd. We have Master of Spider Science Lucas running the green form of Parker, if it is a real Parker. You have the corpulent form of Johnny running Uncle Buggy, the Hobbit Barbarian, or Uncle Bin Juice, or whatever he's now called. We've got the mechanical, fully operational form of Paul running the extraordinarily, if I remember last week well enough, extraordinarily ineffective Scalio Tool the Paladin.
I drew my best.
We have the man that puts the hard in Asgard, Hot Viking Graham, Olaf Hopperson. He is controlling the non-floaty, because he's enshrined in anti-magic, form of Sessions Epa, the cleric. And then finally, we have my favourite player, the Socialist Aslan, Leonine Dan, trolling the grumpy bard, Burple Deherple Deherpish. Got no emails. We got no gubbins to talk about. Very quick recap. Inadvertently or vertently, Sessions has breached the containment chamber of a vortex of bio-horrible in the lab of Thessalar the Lich. The bio-horrible has morphed, you think probably under the influence of some baleful spirit fragment that may be a fragment of a Rabba-Dabba-Das.
Of the Rubber Dubber Dub.
Oh, you know him?
No.
Yes.
That is getting really old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old ones are the best ones.
Yeah.
Oldies but goodies.
Of Rabba-Dabba-Das.
Of the
and it has
Rubba-Dubba-Dub,
become
of
this
the Rub-
giant...
Do you know?
It's become
No,
No.
not really.
has become this giant
Joke.
Hydra creature
right.
that has laid waste to Bugraft a bit and failed to hit Parker, if I remember correctly. Parker was incredibly fortunate. But it's trapped in this lab. The Slayers are surrounding it, and Burple has decided that what he might try and do is trap it inside a spherical prismatic wall. Well, we decided that we weren't going to have a big rules discussion at the end of last week, so let us have it now. You're casting this prismatic wall.
Yeah. 9th level.
And you're trying to
Bosh.
get it to, as it were, run through the walls, round everything. Let's have a look through this spell. A shimmering multicolored plane of light forms a vertical opaque wall up to 90 feet long, 30 feet high, and 1 inch thick, centered on a point you can see within range. Fine. Alternatively, you can shape the wall into a sphere up to 30 feet in diameter, centered on a point you choose within range. The wall remains in place for the duration. Position positive space occupied by a creature. Spell fails. The rest of the text does not concern itself with targeting. Is there anything about walls in terms of casting spells? Let's have a quick look. Where is the bloody picture of the gnome pointing at the board with the different areas of effect? Here we go. No, you see, we've got cone, cube, cylinder, emanation, line, or sphere, none of which it is. So there's not going to be anything.
It's a sphere.
Is it?
What is spherical?
sphere is an area of effect that extends in straight lines from a point of origin outwards in all directions. That's not what this is. It's a spherical wall. This is a shell, not something that is emanating from a central point. It's not a 30-foot ball of prismatic layers, is it?
Alternatively, you can shape the wall into a sphere up to 30 feet in diameter, centered on a point you choose within range.
Yeah, but the wall is 1 inch thick.
Right.
So if you create it as a sphere, you create a shell that you could stand inside.
Okay.
It's got a 20-foot base, which means that it can be encompassed in a 30-foot wall. There is nothing that says the wall has to be unbroken in the description.
No.
And there is nothing about walls as an area of effect in general, and there is nothing that says that it emanates from a point, so it needs a line of effect from the point. I'm saying that works.
Okay.
Isn't it going to trap Buggy inside it?
Yeah, but Buggy can pass through it.
Buggy's named so he can move out of it.
Well, you say that, Lucas, but I just forgot. I always forget Buggy. I can't remember what his name is. It's terrible.
I don't know what happens as a result of it working, but I don't need to worry about that now, because all I need to worry about is the fact that it is Parker on 16.
Marvellous. Oh, I've got a little movement left.
Yeah, go for
You
it.
don't want to
Desert
move
Trolley.
away, do you? Get attack of opportunity.
It can't see me.
Yeah, can't see him.
Oh, so you don't get attacks
The
of opportunity
wall
in things you
is
can't
opaque.
see.
You don't get attacks of opportunity against creatures that you can't see.
Right. Well,
Parker,
so
you can't see it. You're now trapped between
even
the
more
prismatic
traps.
wall. Yeah, I mean, I would say that Parker is no better off.
Right.
I think that's the best way of putting
Has
this.
Parker-
I
Parker
don't know,
got mobility.
Yes.
So you could step through the wall, have a round of
Attack
attacks, and step back
Yeah,
out
but I
again.
can't move. Well, I suppose so. Yeah. I suppose that's a
So I think,
point.
what size is it? You can move through something that's 2 sizes bigger than you. Can you not?
We can if you're a hobbit.
Oh, do you have to be a hobbit?
Oh,
Is it not a general?
it's gargantuan in terms of sizes.
The other good thing, Graham, is that the red layer does fire damage.
Oh, might be effective.
If fire is the thing that,
It would at least prove that point, wouldn't it?
yeah, except it has to move, it has to try and move through it.
We were
Stops it
speculating last week that might stop its heads.
It
regenerating.
doesn't say here. It says any creature can move through a space of a hostile creature if that creature is at least 2 sizes larger or smaller.
Oh, Hobbit
Is that what it
is
says?
1 size larger.
Oh, well, there you are. It's more
It's
than 2
gargantuan,
sizes
isn't it?
larger. It's
Yeah.
gargantuan. And then if you've got mobility, then you negate. Is it all? Anyway, we're not going to get into
All
attacks
attacks
of tuna fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so I can step inside the sphere, hit it,
Yeah.
and then move
Yeah.
through and then go up to where... do I go to Sessions or do I go to Scaly and Purple?
I think Sessions is probably the better exit.
Right, well, I will step in
Mm-hmm.
and do exactly the same kind of attacks. It's doing 12 points, 13 points, 12 points.
5 points of damage.
So, armor class 28.
Is a hit.
Excellent. That will be 9, and I'll use the Staff of Striking on it as well. So it takes 24 points of damage, and it has to make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
In order to avoid being stunned.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't worry about that. It's not happening. You think it's very difficult to stun something that's got lots and lots of heads.
Well, can I not stun one of the heads?
I just read the words off a card, Lucas.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's immune to being stunned.
Okay. Fair enough. Armor class 28 again.
Another hit.
Very good. So that will be 22 points of damage.
Wow. This is very un-Parker-like.
No, well, it's just luck.
Yeah. Armor class
23.
is another hit.
Lovely.
Wow.
That will be 11 points of damage. And the final attack,
Yes. Another
27.
one. Wow.
13 points of damage. And then because that's a hit, the gloves also do
Oh, the gauntlets of thunder and lightning.
6 points of damage.
You've just done 76 points of damage.
Yes.
Oh,
That's like
That's,
actually the monk actually working. And then because I've attacked it, I can move through it, and I will move up to the opposite side of the prismatic sphere in the direction of Sessions. But I won't move
Heading north.
into the room with Sessions because that's where the anti-magic
back out the way you came.
sphere is.
Yeah. On 12, it's Uncle Bucky.
There you go.
Right,
Fast,
so...
efficient.
Well, efficient. I'm not sure about fast.
That was pretty nice. That was
I think that was
Lucas,
pretty
I think that
fucking
was-
fast.
Yeah, for Lucas, that
You
was a
wanna be
world
timed.
record.
Check.
I suppose so. You do moan about the monk, but doing 78 points of damage and having armor class 25 is pretty good.
Yeah, but that's
76.
pretty much the maximum. That's sort of like if
76 more
everything
than I can
works.
do.
If everything works, yeah, but that's
'cause
if
you're
everything
useless.
works, right? And you've got to roll 4. That's 4 rolls.
Well, I do soak up damage. I didn't mean do
That's
anything
enough to
else.
start a sandwich bar, Lucas.
Yeah, but Johnny,
the thing
that's what
about
you're
the
there
monk
for.
is the monk is actually effective against sort of lesser creatures, but we're always attacking creatures that are sort of like more powerful than us, and that I don't know. The monk's strengths are always I don't know. They're not effective against more powerful creatures. You put the monk in a sort of field of sort of nasty skeletons or something, because he can go around and basically do stunning strike on all of them and sort of butter them up so that they're, so that when the other people come in, that they all get
Split you
attack
with sandwich bolt.
advantage and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know.
All I'm saying is you do
I
more
find it
damage and
difficult.
you got better armor class than me. So
Well,
and you do other stuff as well. So
that's amazing.
It's basically just a monk.
I mean,
you know,
don't blame me.
specialised in being a monk.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
I mean, don't blame the
Well, I
player.
suppose I could carry a bit more or see a bit further as a high level barbarian. Can this thing see out the prismatic sphere?
That's
Sorry, I missed that bit.
No, it's
So if I move away
No.
from it with my freedom of movement, I just need to move 5 foot and I automatically escape non-magical
Yes.
restraints. Then
Well,
he can no longer see me,
yeah. And then you can move normally. So
and then
it
I'll
won't get
move
attacked.
through. I'll just move it.
Doesn't it get an attack of opportunity, fish?
But it can't see me through the.
What
This
you
is
doing?
I was
Why
asking.
aren't you attacking it?
I just last round I took 100 hit points of damage.
But you can attack it.
126 points of damage.
Yeah, I thought you were a barbarian.
Yeah, I'll go back in, but
Have you got
there
mobility?
are more intelligent ways to kill it, like doing this prismatic sphere and just leaving
Johnny.
it on it.
If you step away from a creature, but into a square that's obscured, does it not get an attack of opportunity? We've had
It
this
does,
discussion.
yeah.
Like,
It does. It's the
It-
square you
it
leave.
does.
It's the square you leave.
it's a square you leave.
You square you leave,
So
okay.
we'll get an attack of opportunity on you as you
All
left.
right, well in that case, I will.
Do you not have mobility?
No,
You can take withdraw action.
I could switch on the smoke and move out.
God no, that'd really fuck us up.
Just use a withdraw action.
If you're going to be a cowardly custard, yeah, use a withdrawal action.
Yeah, if you're going to be a cowardly custard, are you going to do anything?
I'm
I
trying
am.
to think.
I'm switching on the smoke.
No,
Yeah.
Bonus action.
Yeah.
Then I'm moving through the antechamber, through the hole in the wall that I made with the stone shape.
we're on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, the smoke goes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but
As you go.
but he can't see me. I'm out of the keep,
Side.
outside.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm going to do
Yeah.
a heal spell on myself. A 6th level
Okay.
heal.
Cool.
Is it 6th level or 5th level? Sorry, just check.
We don't know.
70 points, 6th level heal.
On Tenet sessions.
Yeah, I'm wondering what to do.
Little seshy lad. Buggy has just run, I don't know.
bugged out.
There was smoke, then there was Buggy, then there's smoke again. To your south, you can see an open door and the boundary of a prismatic wall. That's kind of it.
Can you get into that unopened room?
Need a strength check. I doubt
Or
sessions are strong
you need
enough,
to
I
run
think.
all the way
I
round.
mean, if it's got a wizard look on it, it wouldn't work anymore, would it?
No, exactly. That's how we
Okay,
got through
not-
the first door. Let's. Why do you want me to go through that
You
door?
shouldn't move forward too far because otherwise the
I'm just
anti-magic
thinking-
shell will affect the prismatic wall.
It doesn't affect it.
Does not.
I'm just thinking this room, Grom.
Fair enough.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, we haven't been in there. We need to know what's in there.
What, the cell? That's a cell,
Well,
like an
yeah,
nothing in it.
unoccupied and not recently used cell. Yeah.
It's got no windows.
No, it's just got a jailer's hole.
Or there's the two doors that go into the walls that possibly
Yeah.
go down.
Could try
Yeah.
that one.
Go for the door.
Go for the door. Try it. See what it does.
Bitch!
Which
Shut that door.
a lich.
Graham doesn't
Okay.
do opening doors. He has minions to do that
I
for
have
him.
minions. Yeah, where are my minions? They're in the wrong place. Okay, I will step up to the door, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
and try and open it. The one that leads into the wall, rather than the one that's already open.
To the east,
Yes.
you can open that door. I'll say it's an interact.
Okay, let's see what's on the far side of the door and then decide what to do.
Well, sorry to say that on the other side of the door is
A lich.
just a giant throat.
Giant eyeball.
It's not very interesting.
Sphere of Annihilation.
It's just a mouth. It's just you opening the door into
A maw.
into a digestive tract. Yeah.
Excellent.
Move your mini, by the way. You're doing this very sneakily.
Well, I haven't finished moving, that's why.
Okay, well, that's what you can see from the doorway.
It's a wiggly passage.
It's a wiggly passage that wiggles off to wiggledoms unknown.
Right.
I've
So
been
that's
very
what-
generous and allowed you to see a bit round a corner that you can't really see around.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
But that's me. I'm Mr. Generous.
I think we can guess where it goes.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, all the way up to the end.
Well, can't we talk about her anymore? Has she done something awful? I can't remember.
She did do something, didn't she?
She did something, didn't she?
Then I
can't
think
remember what
I
it was.
will
It wasn't good.
Go for it. Proceed forward.
you want me to proceed forward?
Yes.
There's a voice shouting from the smoke outside the building
Outside the building.
who doesn't know where you are
Yeah.
and can't see what you can see. But if you want to heed that advice, feel free.
Go for it, Sessions.
It's like an awful life coach.
Go for it.
Identify your goals, target your goals, actuate your goals.
Well, I don't want to leave Parker in the anti-magic shell, I think. Unless he wants to be in the anti-magic shell.
Not really, but I will follow behind you outside the anti-magic shell if you move in there.
Okay, well let's cautiously, prodding as we go, venture into
I mean,
the
you could
passageway.
stand back and let me go ahead now the door's open.
Yeah.
Patronising much?
Come
What?
on, let's go on,
No,
Session.
I'll
Move
move forward.
dangerously.
Since I've moved, so I'll move forward another.
You never know. Maybe a
Move to
traditional
here.
pit trap there.
Yeah, cautiously. That's why I said cautiously, prodding as I go. Not used to this floor walking.
Move your...
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal a little bit more. Not too much more.
I didn't understand what was patronising.
Well, the idea that Parker would say, "You stay here now, little fella. I'll take it from here."
So, for the reader's benefit, Sessions is proceeding in the
By
interior
himself.
of the wall that
Yeah.
leads up to the portcullis. It's a sort of hollowed out wall.
Yeah,
There's a bit more passageway. You're getting the general idea of this.
yeah.
The area of wall that looked like it may have been solid,
It's in fact
although you
not.
guess was not, is not solid, but is also not, so far at least, got anything interesting in it, like a staircase or a door or anything.
Okay, well, I've moved to there.
Keep going. Keep going. There's a voice.
15 feet in, you can see round a bit. Again, I'm being super generous,
Yep.
assuming that you're kind of craning your little hobbity neck.
Okay, I'll keep moving, Mike. I'll do a kind of move.
Yeah, how are you seeing, by the way?
My
Eyes.
little hobbity eyes. Is it dark?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no windows.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll go, whoa, it's terribly dark.
That's about as much as you're going to get in terms of the light that's spilling from outside. Well, I say spilling,
Then I'll-
filtering from outside through the open door.
I'll move back to where I started because I can't see anything.
Run away.
Back to where you
I don't have dark vision.
started.
And I
Bloody
can't
hell.
cast a light spell. I'm within my anti-magic field.
Run away. Light a torch. You know,
I could light a torch. That's a good idea for next round.
old-fashioned.
It does feel very demeaning having to actually get the flint and tinderbox out.
Right. Scaly and Burple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friend is back.
Oh. Ding.
And he is real.
Oh, he's real. Okay.
Your true sight tells you that he is real.
Hit him.
Um,
Yeah, okay, go on.
can you both make
You really want to make this save?
Constitution save,
DC 22.
please? It's got this funny little rod in its hand still.
Rod of destruction.
15.
Rod of annihilation.
Okay. Do you want to use your Alt dice, Scaly, or not?
I think I
Purple gets a
should.
15.
This one's not at advantage, though, right?
This is not at advantage, no. Both of you have failed your
I'm
saves.
going
Would you
to
like to
use-
check one thing?
I'm going to use my Alt dice, Mike.
Okay.
Is this casting a spell?
No, it's not casting a spell.
Yeah, it's not making an attack.
It's not making an attack. Oh,
Okay.
oh dear. That's a 1 from Burps.
I'm going to use a point of luck.
Constitution with an Alt dice.
Well, that was your Alt dice, right?
Oh.
Scaly has rolled a 2. Okay,
So that's a failure.
So this
I'm going to use
is
a point of
not-
luck.
I don't think you can use a point of luck on the number you roll on an Ort dice, and if you want to use a point of luck, you have to use it on your original roll, and you didn't say so at the point where you made the roll.
I don't understand.
They are luck roll. Well, they're lucking themselves, aren't they?
You're the
When you roll
DM.
an Ort, yeah. Well, I don't think we've allowed Johnny, for example, to re-roll a one. Well, I can't remember a specific instance, but I think that with an Ort dice, you're saying, right, okay, I've exhausted my options, and I'm using my Ort dice.
I think we actually have with the luck
We have what?
allowed the roll, but maybe the Ort dice came afterwards. I think we've definitely
Yeah.
had
But I don't think anybody's ever used a point of luck to re-roll an Ort dice before.
I mean, that actually wasn't my intention. My intention was to. I've got
Yeah.
2 backups. I thought.
Right, but you kind of said, I'm going to use my Ort dice, and then you rolled the dice. And then you rolled
Yes.
one.
And then
then you said, I'm going to use a point of luck, which is not quite the same thing.
Why can't I re-roll the original saving
Original
throw?
save. I tell you what, fine. Fill your boots.
I mean, I
So
failed
you've
anyway.
made a save.
No, I've
You
got
what?
20.
20 is a save.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, well then I saved.
Yes, you
That
saved.
sounds a bit
So
dodgy, I have to say.
What?
You know,
So I don't understand.
You
If
failed
if-
the roll, and you use your Ort dice to re-roll, and you rolled a 1 on the
No,
Ort dice.
and the
That's
Ort
it.
dice failed, and so I was like, okay, why can't I use?
No,
a
you
point of
can't
luck?
go
If I-
back, then go back to your original roll and re-roll it with, or amend it with a luck roll. It's too late.
Well, I don't
Why-
think we've
why?
ever actually tested. We haven't tested that, and I'm not.
I don't.
bothered.
I don't get that. If I'd said that I roll the luck first and then use the Ort dice, why is that different?
You roll the luck
Which I've
first.
done in the past. Right, I've done in the past.
I don't
I've rolled
understand the
luck,
difference.
And this is just so we're penalising the fact that Dan forgot, basically, if you're saying
Well,
because
Dan
he said
never
Ort
knew.
dies first.
Well, first of all, it's going to be fine. Second of all, the game is all about penalising people who forget, Lucas. That's the whole point.
Right.
True.
But if I never knew,
Third of all, nobody's tried the idea of failing a roll, forgetting to use a luck roll to try and correct it, and then resorting
didn't
to
forget.
Well,
I didn't forget.
do
I
it.
calculated that basically my better chance was to use the Ort dice. I thought I didn't stand much of a chance using luck, so I'll use my Ort dice and save my luck.
Okay.
I had no idea
Okay.
that I couldn't use my luck after rolling an Ort dice. That was
You're fine.
just
Anyway, you're fine.
never knew.
You're fine.
No, but the fact that
The-
you seem to be implying that I'm trying to manipulate the situation.
Yes, I know, because I'm not going to change what actually happens, but therefore I'm taking satisfaction in implied superiority, which is all I've
Right.
got.
Okay, fair enough.
Just for absolute clarity and from now and forever. Your only
So
opportunity.
you always got to use your luck first.
An Ort dice is a last resort. You can only use a luck point to re-roll a dice straight after you've rolled it. If after that you would then resort to an Ort dice, you can't use a luck point to re-roll the Ort dice.
I wasn't trying to re-roll the Ort dice. I was trying to
no,
re-roll the
I'm not-
original.
no, I know you weren't, but just in case it was to come up in the future, because we've never encountered that question before, you can't use luck on an Ort dice roll. Right, now I've lost where we were. Oh, you saved. Scaly failed.
I was hoping
it's
you'd kind
really-
of skip that part.
It's really not that bad.
Okay.
You take the following necrotic damage, 21 points of necrotic damage. Burple, you take 10 points of necrotic damage.
I'm also resistant to necrotic damage.
Is that it?
Okay, so you take 5 points of necrotic
After all
damage.
that?
And then it kind of winks at you and it vanishes again. On 9, it's scaly.
So it.
What a
How did it
wanker.
appear,
I mean, like a lich.
Mike? So I get an idea with my true sight. Did it walk into the room? Did
your
it
true sight doesn't-
materialize?
Give me an Arcana check.
It's either teleporting or ethereal.
Not sure. It looked a bit like teleport, could have been dimension door. I mean, all of these spells are different and different casters manifest those
Yeah,
effects in
but they're
different
blank.
ways.
Is it like a blink?
Could have uninvisibled, could have blinked. If you'd got more than a 6 on your Arcana check, you'd probably be able to nail it, but
But if it's uninvisible, I
Unfortunately.
would have seen it. And if it is ethereal,
true.
I would have seen it.
that's also true. There you
Can
go.
I, can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Marvellous.
So it's
So
not
it's
a
not
blink.
on the ethereal plane then.
I get a
Blink is
19.
ethereal, isn't it?
You think that was a teleport, Scaly. You're pretty certain that it teleported in, and somehow, amazingly, it has managed to teleport away again.
Okay.
Do you think it teleports in, does something, teleports away? How the hell are we going to fight it?
Readied actions.
Have we got dimensional anchor or something like that? Or does that stop it teleporting?
It does, but I haven't got
Graham,
it.
do you have that?
I don't have it.
On 6, it's this giant creature.
Mike,
Hold up. I haven't got it.
Yeah.
Mike, Mike, it teleported in, appeared within 20 foot of the prismatic wall, which it could see. Therefore, it needs to make a saving throw.
Sure.
It's too late, isn't it?
I don't think so. What's the saving throw?
The saving throw is a DC 18 Constitution save.
Well, it saves. On 9, it's Scaly.
Right, well, as Scaly can't bash this thing, it's going to go and bash the hydrangea. Going to walk up.
So,
Could open the door.
Is it teleporting somewhere that you can see?
Be nice to have a round.
I'm just wondering
No,
if it has to
teleport, it
see
knows
where
well.
it's teleporting. Yeah.
But how it
Yeah,
knows
no,
where we
teleport.
are is an interesting question.
So, how's it knowing all that? Is it sort of spying on us from somewhere?
I think
or-
it just is.
Good question.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
it
it's
must
in the
be.
rafters or something, peering down at us. Or
Oh, in the dome.
is there a dome on this?
There's no dome.
I thought it was a domed ceiling. No.
I don't think it's a dome in the sense that there's a space that you can't see. I think the ceiling is curved. Yeah, it's like an organic curved shape. But I don't think there's like a separate bit. There's no suggestion that you can't see all of the building looking up, if that's helpful.
Is it all stone ceiling or something?
Yeah, marble. The whole thing is shaped. It seems to be shaped from a single piece of marble.
Nasty fucker.
How are we gonna?
Yeah. But its attack
think
things
of
are getting weaker and weaker, yeah?
Yeah, true.
I mean, the teleport's quite powerful, but the last set damage was not
Yeah, I
massive.
think it's used its organ thingy, its organ request, and I think it's used some of its more powerful spells.
Unless it's trying to lull us into a false sense of security.
Yes, possibly. And possibly in its lair, when and if we ever find it, it's probably stronger.
Yeah. Which lair
So you
might
gave
be the
up.
pris-
You gave up trying to look down that passageway.
I can't see anything. I don't have dark vision.
Ah,
I can't cast the usual light spell because I'm standing within my anti-magic shell.
do you not have a
Oh,
torch?
I can go and have a look
I
on
can
my
go
round.
down it if you want.
That's what I'm thinking I might do next round.
Okay.
Or follow someone who can see.
I think in these situations you're just trying to work out how's the room supposed to work.
I don't know. Sometimes Paizo are quite good at just setting up a scenario that has sort of different ways it can go, which I
Yeah.
kind of think this is. But I think Graham's right. I think the Lich is getting weaker.
Well, it's probably like the rest of us, if it's casting a lot of spells,
Yes.
it will have a finite number and it's possibly used its more powerful ones.
Yeah.
Well, if it uses powerful ones, can't we ready an action to cast a spell at it?
I forgot to give you an insight check. Are both Scaly and Burple?
Insight.
Doesn't necessarily affect your plan, Scaly.
Okay.
13 from Burple.
This is another one I'm really good at.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
6.
No, okay.
Oh, I'm a bit better than you.
Yeah.
Okay. Is everybody alright? We good?
Mm-hmm. Who's go?
All right. It's Scaly. You're going to try and thump this thing.
Gonna try and something this thing. Nothing too complicated about this. Armor class 20.
It's a miss.
Fucker. Second attack.
Sorry. With a 9. Yeah.
It's rolling so badly at the
Second
moment.
attack
Armor class 21.
is a hit, Scaly.
Oh my fucking god. He's done something. He's going to do this
Well-
and he's going to do Divine Smite as well.
Yeah.
Is it an evil outsider, by the way?
Is it an evil? No, it's not an outsider. It's an abomination.
Can he have done a bonus action before the hit? Can I
A
do
bonus action?
bonus action? Can I do a bit of dessert trolley and put a hunter's mark on him? I don't understand if you'd say no.
Oh, well, I think that's probably taking the piss, isn't it?
All right. 8 points of normal damage. God, 8
points of damage.
8 points of damage plus
Oh, hello.
plus
That's
20
more like it.
plus 29 points of damage.
Plus another 29. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that puts a different complexion on things.
And then he's going to retreat without any
Right.
attacks of opportunity because he's got mobility.
Yes. It is the great creature on 6. Now, it's got to think what to do.
Constitution save DC 18.
Okay, we'll start with that.
I think probably the same is true of the yellow one and the pink one.
What is the issue? Okay, no,
Blind-
don't need to worry about the
blindness.
saving throw. Yeah, don't need to worry about the saving throw. Okay.
Okay.
What does it do, though? It can't see anything. It is not mindless, but at the same time, it's not calculating. It doesn't know what a prismatic wall is. I think an element of the old D6 is going to break out here. It is going to head north or south. It's been tormented from both sides. I think that the chances are that it will head north because the green thing that... Well, you see, on the other hand, maybe it's scared. Okay, let's make it 1 to 3, 4 to 6. 1 to 3, it squeezes north. 4 to 6, it squeezes south. South. So, it starts squeezing its way south. Its move is...
10.
Well, substantial. At the point that it's moved 10 feet south, it intersects with the wall, and it starts having to make saving throws. Have I got this right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through them. We've done this before, so our second time so far in this adventure. Let's start working our way through.
So red.
Does it start with red if it's going from the inside out?
I don't think it matters. I think it just is affected by all of the layers.
Oh,
It has
I
to
see.
save against all of them.
Yeah, and not in order.
Can you
When the
not,
dragon was trying to...
recoil once you've been affected by the first layer?
Well, I know, Lucas, so this is part of what I'm kind of thinking. When the ancient red dragon, what was it called? Anyway, whatever it was
When
called.
a creature
in the-
attempts to reach into or pass through the wall, it does so
Yeah.
one layer at a time through
Thank
all
you.
the wall's layers. As it passes or reaches through each layer, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw or be affected by that layer's properties as described below.
It's all the layers, but one at a time.
Yes.
I think what that means is you do the first layer, and then it gets to think again.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Imagine if the situation was reversed, and I tried to tell you that as you started to pass through one of these things, that you had no option but to save against all of them. I think
Yes.
we would have a long discussion. So
Fair enough.
let's do them in order. So it's red.
Order.
It's a dexterity save. DC.
DC 18.
That is insufficient.
It takes 30 points of fire damage.
I'm going to make a roll. I've got a number in mind. It makes that number, so it's going to keep going.
Okay. So another save.
This time it's not enough again.
Okay, so it takes 34 points of acid damage.
Must be immune to acid, and is it breathing it or biting
it
it?
doesn't seem to take any damage.
Okay,
So it keeps going.
this one is lightning damage.
Okay, this is not going to be so good. And it only rolls a 4. How much lightning damage is it?
37 points of lightning
Okay, so-
damage.
Nice.
Right, well at this point it has to make another roll. Oh, okay. That is not enough. It recoils at that point.
Okay, and has to go back out through all the... No, not really.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so it jumps back at that point.
Okay,
And it's bamboozled because all around it is this thing. So it can't make the right choice. On 18, it's burp.
Oh, that's been quite effective.
Yeah.
it has, doesn't it?
You hear a kind of fizzle sound, like a fly hitting a fly executey light, whatever, in a
Okay.
butcher's shop. You hear a kind of buzz, and then you hear a screech, and then it doesn't come any further.
Okay, I'm going to move... Can I open that door?
The door to the
East of Scaly.
east. Can you give me a strength athletics check?
I'm rather good at that. Getting 32.
You open the door, and you can see that there's a passageway leading off, wiggling its way off to the east.
Is it an action to open the door?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3,
So it
4,
isn't wizard locked.
5.
It is wizard locked.
I'm moving to there.
I think the wizard log just makes it plus
Makes
10
it-
harder to open, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Something like that.
It just continues burps.
Yep.
You're going to come through the pan into the U-bend, and now you're going through the waist.
Nice.
On 16, it is Parker. Parker, you're standing just north of the
Yeah.
prismatic sphere. This creature is inside it and is shrieking and seems to be trapped.
So I will go down the corridor that Sessions went down. I have dark vision. Basically round the first bend until a point at which I can see down the section that you haven't yet opened up. I'm guessing somewhere
so
like
you're running
there.
east down that thing, and unsurprisingly, you learn that it runs all the way round and ends in a seemingly dead end as it
with-
hits the wall that is the northern boundary of the little portcullis gatehouse bit.
Maybe it's a secret door there.
Yeah, anything on the floor anywhere? Do some searching on the floor?
You're going to spend an action searching?
Yes, I'll spend an action searching.
Where are you searching? Are you searching
The section ahead of... I mean, it depends
the
how
section
much...
that you're in, the 5-foot square section that you're in, walls, floor, everything you
Yeah.
can see? Give me an
What,
investigation
only
check.
one square in a round?
In 6 seconds? Do you want to intensively search a section
right.
looking for tiny micro cracks and mechanisms? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, God.
A6.
6.
No, you don't find anything interesting, apart from maybe a bit of belly button lint that you missed earlier. 12.
Get the tweezers out.
Out by himself in the smoke. Uncle Buggy, you can hear stuff from your south, but you really don't know what's going on.
So I'm moving up to the doorway.
The doorway to the laboratory, past Sessions. Yeah.
Am I slightly outside the anti-magic shell there? Sort of half in, half out. Can I?
A half in, half out. You have smoke in front of you, no smoke behind you.
Okay, could I cast a spell? Is it worth doing an insect plague inside this prismatic sphere?
You tell me.
You might force it to come out, though.
It'll take 4d10 damage, save to half for 10 minutes if I just keep concentrating on it. Just keep taking damage every round.
Yeah.
The prismatic wall's not going to destroy the insect plague, is it? It doesn't say that you can...
You can what?
Kill the insects. Or get
I think
rid
you'll
of them
have to
that
go
way.
in to the sphere to do it.
It says swarming, biting locusts, but it doesn't say anything about those locusts being damageable.
No.
So they're like phantom locusts?
It doesn't say if you do a fireball, they're all destroyed.
It doesn't, no.
You know, they've all got to have less than one hit point, but it doesn't say that you can destroy them with a fireball.
Yeah,
or anything.
agreed.
Why do I have to... So I can't cast spells through the prismatic sphere, is that what it is?
Yeah, the indigo layer blocks spells.
Okay, and I can pass through it without being harmed?
Yeah.
So Burple tells you. Are you shouting this, by the way, backwards and forwards across the...
No,
Yeah.
so I'm going into the prismatic sphere.
Okay, well, the creature is there looking crazed
Like it
with
has a readied set
fear
of
and... No,
10
unfortunately
actions.
not. Crazed with
20
fear
foot
and
radius.
whatever.
How many heads has it got?
Does it got... Let me check the head sitch. It's got 6 heads left.
Ah.
Right, so I do this insect plague on it, which is a 5th level spell. Does 4d10 damage. Fills a 20-foot radius sphere, so it's going to be slightly bigger than the...
Yeah, so it fills the thing. So what was the DC of the Constitution save?
a 16.
It fails it.
Okay, it takes 4d10.
Yep.
It makes a saving throw when it enters the spell for the first time or it ends its turn there, so you don't have to save yet.
Oh, okay, fine.
And then I'm moving back
North.
to where I was.
On 10, it's Sessions.
Buggy's passed through and back, having cast a spell. How does Parker see?
Eyes.
Dark
Dark vision.
Has he got dark vision? Yeah. Right.
I know what Graham is thinking. Graham is thinking, with the prismatic wall and all of the other things, why am I maintaining this anti-magic shell? And then he thinks, wait a second, what am I
You
saying?
don't need to, Graham. He hasn't got the heart recall thing.
Yeah, well,
If you're Graham, you're thinking, really?
I've
Or
cast
is it
it's an
just-
8th level super spell. I might as well keep it going for as long as I can. I will get out my
Cheese knife?
a torch, light a torch,
Yeah.
and then I'll venture following where I saw Parker go,
Okay, well, you meet Parker.
looking for stuff.
Thereby
Stuff.
inflating the invisible flammable gas that fills the chamber.
Yeah.
On... So
By the way, are there arrow
variables.
slits in this wall?
Not immediately apparent. You could try and scrutinize, but you've used your action to light a torch.
Well, there's no light coming in.
No. So if there are arrow slits, they're
Covered.
concealed or closed or... Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay. Well, as I'm wandering, I'm looking, to see what I can see.
On 10, the Lich appears. It appears, Scaly, near you.
Hello.
Give me an insight check.
Ooh, a 17. Not bad.
You think that it looks utterly crestfallen, like its world has been turned upside down.
What's wrong?
Tell Uncle Scaly.
What's wrong? What's wrong? The pinnacle of all my research, my undeath's goal, the absolute goal of all my science and all my research. What's wrong? You've destroyed everything, and for that, you must die! And it points its finger at you. And Scaly, you have got to make a saving throw. A very important saving throw. But you're not going to make it now. You're going to make that saving throw against whatever awfulness this thing is using when we pick things up next.
week. Oh, thank you for that, because I get my Ort dice back.
Ort dice back, yes.
Could just run for another 15 minutes so he doesn't get another raw dice.
Yeah, we do that.
Thanks, Dan.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. Into the Wormcrawl Fisher and Age of Worms are copyright Wizards of the Coast. Into the Wormcrawl Fisher was written by James Jacobs. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!
One.